Well, things are really coming in fast now, and if I don't put a video log of this, don't forget. So, about a year ago, I wondered, what about if you feel really good? Is there anything better? So I experimented with that. I said, man, I feel really good. I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful for the water. I'm thankful for, you know, everything. I love my place. I was in Brazil. And I said, but is there anything, a timeline that's higher? And there was. There always is. It's infinite. And everything's right here, happening right now, anyway. So I thought that was fine until yesterday. And this was the insight that I got. And see if I can remember that. I got this insight when I was listening to. There's one guy that is alive that remembers all his past lives. And he went up to the ninth dimension. So he will teach you about each dimension and how to get there. And his name is Matthias De Stefano. Matthias De Stefano. Destefano. Matthias is Matias. So it's interesting to listen to perspectives of that and to get this. Well, one of the things that he said, he goes, man, you can't leave your vibration behind. Like, say you're just bored and people around you are boring and you want some excitement. You think, well, I'll see you later. Bye. And you just mentally go to this place. But it doesn't work that way. You can't enhance, you can't go to higher dimensions if you say basically a fuck you to the dimension behind you. Go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want. I'm leaving. So you have to bring the vibration with you and you all go together. It's a oneness. And that really helped me because I thought nobody knows what I'm saying anyway. Why am I don't care if they believe me. I don't care if they even know anything. So I'm moving on and they're happy with what they're doing. But that isn't the way, really. You just have to stay in your intuition and allow your higher self to move you where you're supposed to be. And you just try to be as present and as your best expression of God in that moment. There's another guy that was on this that talks up to the 11th dimension, and he thinks that's as far as you go. That's because he's following the teaching of Thoth, which is Thoth. So Thoth or Thoth, I don't know. But he's still one of the emerald tablets. So they can only go up to the 11th dimension. And it's a very high level. It's where Metatron got stuck. And that's what the Fibonacci is all about. Is Metatron is not a person or an archangel. It's a family of archangels. And at one time they were guardians. They would help us along the way and clear a lot of this shit. And at some point they said, fuck it. They because they have a lens that's this big and they're trying to communicate to somebody with a lens this big. And they do this perfect, where anybody could understand if they even tried at all, the slightest little bit, they could understand exactly what, but no, I don't want you to show me because I want this lens. And that was the thing that I think trapped him because he started thinking that he was important, or they, as a group, Metatron started thinking they were important. So if you notice, the Fibonacci and the Solfeggio, the true path. Fibonacci goes all the way to the end, to the 11th strand, and spins off. Whenever to do a Fibonacci, you add the last two numbers, and then the next two, you add the last two numbers. So you're leaving one behind, lost. And that's exactly what will happen to you if you follow Metatron. Because some people, they think if people are dumb enough to give me their power, let them. Because it's where you place your energy. If you place your energy in a person, place, or thing, it's going to come back and swallow you. I didn't mean to get off on that, but it's just that Billy Carson thinks that he's teaching the full thing, but he's even teaching that Metatron, like metaverse, and all that, is okay and is dangerous, because Metatron is a distraction. It's what, as an example, Sadhguru got trapped. It's a very high level, 11th strands. I mean, we have 3 strands in 3D. So when you get up to the 11th dimension, you're way up there. And that's higher than Matthias de Stefano went. But, 12, you're walking on water and doing all kinds of magic tricks and stuff. But all they can go up to is the 11th strand. And so they can take people when you go up to the 11th, they can take people with them and drop them off out in space. And they'll be trying to figure out, how in the fuck did I get so separate from God? Well, it's because you were following Metatron, you dumb shit. Not you dumb shit. But, I mean, they got trapped by AI. It happens. A lot of people get trapped by AI. But they're trying to pull as many people away, but it's not going to be some ugly demon frothing at the mouth. It's going to be a high-level hack. It's going to be, they're really going to like this. For people that believe that AI will take over a human being, this will help them. This will help them with that belief. Because they want data, and data comes from the head. It doesn't come from the heart. So, I mean, the heart is like 100 times more powerful than the brain, but all the focus is on the brain, because this is where we imagine and create, and we have image. We can't be real if you're in your head, because you're in past or future. That's all the brain is for. It's for millions of other things, but when it comes to the spiritual path, the brain is going to stay here and rot, and your heart, is going to go on. The spirit of your heart, well, the mind will go on. But the heart should be feeding the brain. But the brain, the attention is trying to look over here, get your Einstein here, get your Mensa here, get your smarter 5th grader here. Get in your head over here. And then they flood it with that, and then they can control. So it's really a joke to even try to imagine AI ever catching a human being. It's just astounding, because when you're when you're in your heart, you don't plan anything. You don't have any image. There's no image. It's just you. And you don't know what you're going to say from one second to the next, because you're in your intuition. Your intuition talking. And it's far superior than any computer. The computer can only take data. And I think if you know this from, asking things, I mean, geez, one of the sources was Snopes. Geez. But, one strand of DNA, we have 3 that are activated. We actually have at least 12 strands of DNA, but 9 of them have been turned off. So if you got 3 strands of DNA, 1 strand of DNA, you can go and stretch it out to Pluto and back twice, round trip. And that's 1 strand. Now you got 3 of them. So it's got so much information. It's the sophistication is off the charts. But you have to think that you're important to get hacked. That is the key. If you don't think you're important, you're right. You're not. I'm not. You're not. Nobody is. If you think you know something, that's dangerous. What do you know? You don't know anything more than anybody else, and you can't prove anything you really know without a shadow of a doubt. You believe it, and that's belief is wonderful. Belief is creative, but you can change your beliefs. But if you know it, oh, you can't change a knowing. Oh, I know this. It's just one perspective. So the reason you have to bring the strands with you, strand number one is unity. So you never ever, to complete yourself, you're never going to like deny a part, like deny strand one, two, and three. I'm at four now, or five. And it's not a goal to get to five. That's just a strand of DNA. It's like looked at a place to, I mean, seven is where the archangels are, and I think that's where we learn to heal ourselves. And you first have to realize that all disease comes from inside. It's not outside. Nothing comes from outside. They can shoot you with a fucking dew weapon, but if you're not supposed to die, you ain't gonna die. So anyway, nothing here can harm you unless you give it power. You have to give it power over you. If you do, it'll eat you alive. So, what am I saying here? So, 9 dimensions, 11 dimensions. You never forget one, and two is like if you could take those lines and draw a house, and then, and three is you could see the depth. But even if you saw that on a computer, if you saw it on a computer, it's still 2D. They're trying to get us to deactivate the third strand. They're doing so good at dumbing us down. So, and we're going above that, but we have to bring them with us because them is us. And so the insight that I want to keep on file is you don't forget 1 and 2 and 3, and when you come up with them together. So every time you have, like when you have duality at 1, it gives you 2 perspectives. You could look at something from 2 different views, and then when you create a third perspective, then that's when you get to, I think that's when you get to 3D. I don't know, but the point of it is, the days of barriers are over. You don't need barriers with anybody unless they're really strong and they are sucking your energy away. You have to have barriers. You have to cut them off of social media or whatever. And then when you get strong enough, then you can go back. That's a temporary fix. A barrier is a temporary fix. It's never permanent. When you set up a barrier to retain more energy or to stop the leaks, that's only temporary. But eventually, you're going to have to get moving again because the energy is always moving. You can't just sit there and hold energy. So you have to give your power to something. I gave mine to God the Father because that's source. That's all power. And it just comes back to me 100-fold. It's like, Jesus, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to unify with our Father. But anyway, your trip is your trip if you hear this. But anyway, I'm just